So we'll start with the Golden Dome. So what is this Golden Dome? Shield means stealth technology. So where the stealth technology came in the Golden Dome? Black board में तो black color वाడుతున్నారా? Yeah, that's it. So what is this Golden Dome? Madam, konchu. Why? కనిపిస్తుంది ముందుకు రావచ్చు కదా ఉన్న చాలా తక్కువ మంది మీరంతా అలా స్కాటర్ అయిపోతే ఎలాగా ఓకే ఏం చేయలే ఓకే లెట్స్ డిస్కస్ అబౌట్ సంథింగ్ అబౌట్ ద గోల్డెన్ డోమ్ సో వాట్ ఈస్ దిస్ గోల్డెన్ డోమ్ అట్లీస్ట్ 1 or 2 articles అంటే మనం ప్రాపర్ గా విల్ డిస్కస్ లైక్ ఐ కాంట్ డిస్కస్ బికాస్ ఇట్స్ ద లాస్ట్ minute call for me. But Israel's Iron Dome and India's no dome. Recently in Operation Sindhu, India used what kind of missile systems? S-400. Inka? Akash. Inka? Inka? So what are the other? Cheppandi. Correct. Barak. Yeah. Inka? Spider. Yeah. No. We are talking about the Golden Dome. So Golden Dome is the main, what is the main objective of the Golden Dome? Surveillance. Huh? To protect from enemy missiles. So what this Golden Dome will do? Protect. How it will protect?
Shield, which is protecting in the air.
Invisible shield.
The missile lower class in air only it will destroy.
Just for a moment, just think it as a US map, not a messaging logo. ఇలాగే ఉంటుంది కదా ఆల్మోస్ట్ యుఎస్ మ్యాప్ ఇలాగే ఉంటుంది కదా ఆల్మోస్ట్ ఇలాగే ఉంటుంది యా సో అండ్ వీ హ్యావ్ హియర్ వాట్ ఈస్ దిస్ పార్ట్ స్క్వేర్ ఇట్స్ ద 50th state of US, Alaska. How many states are there? 50 states. Okay, yeah. So, how the Golden Dome will protect this US? Satellites of what? What kind of satellites? So, ఇప్పుడు మనం SAM systems. The example what all of you given was the examples of the SAMs. SAMs means surface to air missiles. So what this surface to air missiles will do?
Ground to attack incoming targets.
In the recent Operation Sindhu, so we have multiple attacks from the Pakistan through drones, also fighters and also the missiles. But with the help of this SAM system, India able to contain these kind of threats from the Pakistan. So this SAM system. So what kind of, how many types of missile systems are there usually? SAM? One is SAM. One is air to air missile system. What the air to air missile will do?
Will launch in air.
To what?
Carrier will carry the
So for SAM, it is main agenda is to protect the Indian means the regional airspace from the outside threats, drones nunchi, missiles nunchi, or the enemy aircraft nunchi, the SAM will protect that region. What air to air missiles will do?
It is defense and offense.
This is for offense. That is for true. Air to air missile is for offense. So what is the example for the Indian example for the air-to-air missile? Agni is not. Agni is the surface-to-surface missile, not BrahMos also. That is air-to-ground missile. They will carry through aircraft, but they mostly use to attack the ground targets.
I don't think so. We have any experience.
Why we don't have? So these are the missiles developed by DRDO, Astra, MK1 and MK2. These are the BER missiles, the beyond visual range missiles. So which is developed by the DRDO. So here the all things, and one more type of missiles which we missed here is the surface to surface missile. Surface to. Here what are the examples for the surface to surface missile for India? Prithvi comes under surface to air missile. So Agni, BrahMos. ఏమన్నా చెప్తున్నారా ఇంకా? So Agni, BrahMos, these types of missiles are surface to surface missile. So what is the difference between the Agni and BrahMos? Both can carry the nuclear things. Even the BrahMos can carry the nuclear payload. So what is the main difference between the BrahMos and Agni? Yeah, it's a cruise missile. So BrahMos is a cruise missile and Agni is a ballistic missile. What does mean by ballistic and cruise?
Ballistic means like rocket.
So you're all, most of you are science background, right? So the parabolic path. So if you throw, yeah. So have you seen the movie Bahubali? So how he aimed the arrow. So he aims the arrow towards the sky, not towards the enemy. So it went through the parabolic path and it reaches the enemy. So similarly, the ballistic missiles follow this ballistic path. So it will go into the upper atmosphere and again it will re-enter into the atmosphere. So these missiles are easy for detection. The ballistic missiles are easy to detect because this flight path is high in the outer space and also the atmosphere. But the cruise missiles, the cruise missiles follows the cruise path. So which is, it can even go at the 5 meters height from the ground. Even at the 5 meters height, it can easily maneuver. Yeah. So that is the simple difference between the cruise missile and a ballistic missile. So when it comes to the Golden Dome, so US already have this kind of system. The surface SAM system are well developed. For example, so these systems for US are well developed, but now they feel it's not enough because even the other countries like Russia, China, also they have the well developed SAM systems. So now they don't want to take the chance and they want to start the Golden Dome project by keeping the missiles. It's okay. It's America only, okay? Exactly, because it's not easy to draw. Yeah. If you are able to understand the concept, that's yeah. So on the outer space of the US, so they will arrange some satellites. So they will cover these satellites and also the high energy weapons or some kinetic energy weapons. So మీరు అదర్స్ మూవీ చూసారా? Chusara? So, yeah. So why I am bringing that example is, so they kidnapped their father for building these similar kind of weapon. So they kept that weapon in the atmosphere, and whoever they want to kill, they can give the target and it will send the bullet or the payload. So similarly, it's similar kind of thing. So the Trump want to keep number of satellites in the outer space of the US with high energy and also the kinetic weapons. Why we want to keep the kinetic weapons? So once if you send a tungsten rod into the Earth's atmosphere, you don't need any kind of payload. Tungsten rod. So tungsten, you know the metal tungsten? Tungsten. So it is a metal which is very highly durable. It can tolerate the heat. The heat resistance is too high for the tungsten. So they will place these tungsten rods in the outer atmosphere. So once they shoot into the atmosphere of Earth, what will happen? Due to the gravitational force, so it reaches the, I think, multiple Machs of speed, and it enters into the Earth's atmosphere, and it will cause the devastation so much big than it costs like more than the nuclear missiles. Yeah, that energy itself causes the more explosion than a nuclear missile. But only thing is, after the nuclear missile explosion, you have the nuclear radiation was spread. But here there is no nuclear radiation. As the Trump sees that the threats from the Russia is very high. So he want to implement these kind of system and he want to cover. So for example, the Starlink. Have you heard the name Starlink? So what is that Starlink? So what? Internet provider. So that is the Starlink technology. So he covered the low Earth orbit, LEO, with the multiple number of grids. Like he completed the whole global world map with the multiple grids of satellites. So here everywhere you will get some satellite. So అలా చేస్తే ఏమవుతుంది? If he places a satellite to cover every inch of the Earth, like based on its coverage, so you can get the internet wherever in the world. So the recent example is the Russia-Ukraine war. In the Russia-Ukraine war also, like the soldiers who are in the deep jungles, with the help of this Starlink technology, they are getting the data, and also they are guiding their drones to attack the Russia. So similarly, he want to make the grid arrangement of these kind of weapons in the space. But here there is some problem. So there is a treaty which is signed by the countries like US and Russia. That is Outer Space Treaty. So in Outer Space Treaty, there is Article 4. So which says that it is banning the this is WMD, weapons of mass destruction, and nuclear weapons. In the outer space and the celestial bodies. In outer space and celestial bodies. So what does it mean by celestial bodies? Celestial bodies అంటే ఏంటి? Outer space అంటే ఏంటి? This so Article 4, which bans the WMD and the nuclear weapons. What is mean by WMD? WMD అంటే ఏంటి? Weapons of mass destruction. What kind of weapons which causes the mass destruction? Okay. Nuclear. Inka? Atomic, everything comes under nuclear only. Right? So what are the other weapons can cause the mass destruction? That is okay. That can't. Yeah. That's very conventional. Huh? Not quantum technology. Biological weapons. Chemical weapons. These weapons comes under the weapons of mass destruction. So nuclear, biological, chemical weapons. These weapons comes under the mass destructions. So these treaty banned the testing or usage of WMD and the nuclear weapons in the outer space. But it didn't ban the conventional weapons. Conventional weapons like the tungstens, the use of the kinetic energy weapons. So the kinetic energy weapons or the high energy, the lasers, high energy weapons. Because it was signed around in 1967. So it was much way behind. So they didn't expect that technology will develop so much of that time. So this is the problem. There is the loophole here is that this treaty didn't ban the conventional weapons and the kinetic high energy weapons. Now US want this loophole to exploit and they want to make this golden dome possible at the end of at least the Trump's presidency. So he is investing around 178 billion US dollars for this. That is 178 billion dollars to install this golden dome project in the outer space. So what are the effects? Okay, this is how he thinks. So what it will bring to the world? If it is a US thing, why we are discussing. So what it affects, how it affects the India or the outside world. So what kind of effects it will cause? ఎలాంటి ఎఫెక్ట్స్ గ్లోబ్ మీద వస్తాయి అంటే కంట్రీస్ it can threaten any country. How it can threaten? Because it's a self-defense system, right? Yeah, that is the thing. So it has a dual use purpose. So they can threaten the enemy or the other country's satellites in the outer space itself. Then no need to kill the target in here. They can, for example, what is the satellite system what India developed? Like the GPS. Navig system. That is the constellation of satellites. It is a sister like kind of a GPS for India, which has a multiple satellites kept under the geostationary and the geotransfer orbit. So I think geotransfer orbit is around 3 and 4. Maybe these numbers may extend, but around 7 satellites. That is the initial planned mission of India to cover the India. So this, why they brought this one? During the time of the 1999 Kargil war, when it asked US for the coordinates, GPS coordinates, it didn't give. So that time India realized that, so we need a GPS system similar kind to the US. So it started to develop its own system. So that is also called IRNS, Indian Regional Navigation System, satellite system. So these kind of systems can be like, for example, every country, they have their own. This is also, I think in UPSC also they asked this question, as I remember. So what is the, these geospatial systems for each country. Galileo is for Europe. And also for China, they have the Baidu. Baidu is for China. Galileo. So yeah, Baidu, and GPS is for US. Navic is for India. So these kind of systems. So with these kind of global dome, so it can threaten the other countries' satellite systems, which is present in the space. So that it has a dual use effect. So every country is getting worried. So, geostationary orbit and geotransfer orbit.
These are satellites.
These are satellite constellations. The systems, these are satellite constellations. In every system, they have the multiple satellites throughout the time. Each time it is monitoring the Earth. So it will use the precise location where you are, like how you are getting the locations in your GPS coordinates. How this Rapido, these all things are working just because of the GPS. They are making a complete business based on complete business model they built on based on this GPS. So without GPS, no Rapido, no Uber, nothing can work. Yeah. So this is the one problem. So every country has developed their own systems, the major countries, and with this global dome, so US may threaten to kill their navigational systems. Recently, China is developing one bomb called the graphite bomb. Graphite bomb. So what this graphite bomb will does? So graphite is a high energy, high electric conductor. So when this bomb was released into the enemy's space, so these graphite nanoparticles will deposit on the electrical wires or the electron transformers. So what it will cause? It will cause the immediate blockout of current. It will not affect humans anyway. But only thing, it will take out all the power in the enemy's territory. So what will happen if there is no power? Yeah, you can't imagine. Nothing will work. So any institute or this kind of organization cannot run on the diesel power. How long it will run? Just imagine the hospitals or the critical things. So these are the new technologies they are developing. So similarly, their main worry was that US will use to kill these kind of satellite system of the foreign countries. And also it will cause that race, weapons race. So in 1945, so when the Second World War was stopped, when why the Japan stopped its war in the Second World? Because of the nuclear bomb on the Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So immediately after the Second World War, Russia, what it has done? It also tested its nuclear weapon. So they started testing their nuclear weapons, and Russia also started testing their nuclear weapons. Continuously they keep on increasing their weapons, especially the nuclear weapons. So that's why now only US and Russia has the major number of nuclear weapons in the world. So how the race was happened? So because that person has one weapon, so I should also have one weapon. In the smaller scale example, if you want to take India and China, India and Pakistan. China has these nuclear weapons. So India also started, especially after India lose its war with the China, 1962 war, when the India loses, it started its nuclear program. Similarly, by showing the India as a monster, Pakistan also started its nuclear weapon. So like that, the weapons race will continue. If US starts with the global, the golden dome, Russia will come with the silver dome or the diamond dome, something. Allah means everyone will bring their own kind of systems. So what will happen? So what will happen into the space? So these kind of terminologies also you have to see. The Kessler effect. Huh? Just give me some space. So Kessler effect and it's a hypothetical situation that the space is filled with satellites. Space debris will increase. It's a hypothetical situation. So prelims में इलांट questions may come. The Kessler effect means denotes to what? Space, earth, climate, like that. So mostly the hypothetical situation where space is filled with debris. So this is the అంటే ఇది హైపోథెటికల్ సిచ్యువేషన్ అంటే ఇంతవరకు అది జరగలేదు కానీ విత్ ద ఇంక్రీజింగ్ ఆఫ్ ద స్పేస్ డెబ్రిస్ దిస్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ కండిషన్ మే కమ్ సో దిస్ ఇస్ వాట్ ద సైంటిస్ట్ విల్ బిలీవ్ సో బికాస్ ఇఫ్ it started to improve the golden dome so what it has to keep the number of satellites in the sky if Russia also want to do the same China also want to do the same so what will happen for example if there is ISS like International Space Station is there as a competition China also developed its own space station and very future India also want to have its own space station and there are how many countries 193 countries around something so if every country want to develop its own space station at least 100 countries develop its own space station what will happen they will traffic మన అశోక్ నగర్ లో ట్రాఫిక్ జామ్ ఎలా అవుతుంది so it will have the similar kind of situation that is the Kessler effect will happen of that type so this is the one more effect of this golden dome thing and what is the another
Space, we have a lot of space.
but Earth atmosphere Earth's outer space is confined right
Only lower Earth.
only lower Earth orbit so these are confined right so yeah
So we can't place this in higher Earth orbit.
it is too long right it will not it will take too much time to reach the Earth so if you keep the weapons ఇప్పుడు 1 kilometer దూరంలో పెట్టామనుకో it has to travel 1 kilometer if it kept in 100 kilometers right if it has to travel 100 kilometers so it will have a more higher time ఇప్పుడు ballistic missiles కన్నా cruise missiles ఎందుకు ఇంపార్టెన్స్ అంటే it has its speed and it has a range
Cross a limit, it will fly from the orbit.
so there are many things and also the space is filled with the asteroids these kind of things so it may hit these weapons may hit like ఇప్పుడు 2 days back you see some kind of a capula అని ఒక if you see the news ఆయన ఉన్నారు కదా ఎవరు మన the new astronaut who is in now in the Subhanshu Shukla they opened one window మీరు చూసే ఉంటారు మొత్తం సో దే హ్యావ్ ద 7 విండోస్ 7 విండోస్ ఉన్నాయి కదా ఇలా ఒకటి లైక్ ద మల్టిపుల్ విండోస్ ఇట్ వాస్ దేర్ సో వై ఇట్ వాస్ దేర్ ఇట్ వాస్ ఎ హైలీ ప్రొటెక్టెడ్ విండో విచ్ యూ కెన్ సీ ద ఎర్త్ ఫ్రమ్ దిస్ స్పేస్ సో అండ్ అవుట్ సైడ్ ఆఫ్ ఇట్ మీరు అది చూస్తే yeah triple R okay so this is the window you see normally it's not open only when you want to see it's like the shutter in the camera so you can see the thickness of these doors so why they have kept this one to protect from the yeah these kind of a space objects should not hit it doesn't mean that it will come and destroy because they maintain that even it give a small scratch the view will damage you can't get the good view so that's why they arrange some nice shutters yeah so that is the golden dome and ఇంకేమన్నా ఎఫెక్ట్స్ ఉంటాయా వాట్ ఆర్ ద థింగ్స్ ఇట్ విల్ బ్రింగ్ yeah it will threaten the global security definitely for sure
So there is another provision related to they were like you should not use space as medium of warfare.
so that's what that was the OST treat that is what OST the outer space treaty what it will tell us that you should not deploy the nuclear and weapons of mass destruction in the outer space
I read somewhere like should not use space as warfare, medium of warfare.
medium of warfare huh? Maybe I'm not sure you have to see
Next topic, we'll go to next topic.
So, what is the next topic? చెప్పండి మేడం. ఎడిటోరియల్స్. బట్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ థింగ్ ఏంటంటే, యా చెప్పండి మేడం, పర్వాలేదు. యా ఇట్స్ ఓకే, తెలిస్తే చెప్తాం, లేకపోతే. సో దట్ ఈస్ గుడ్ క్వశ్చన్. యా yeah, it's a good question. Only US is involving or other countries. So US has asked Canada to join in this global dome. Huh? Madam, మీరు geography అయిందా మీది? But you see the distance between the India and the US. So they have the relations. So it means if they want to construct the golden dome, which includes the India, so maybe at 178 billion, 178 trillion అవుతుందేమో. మొత్తం అయిపోతుంది. What is the GDP of India? 4 trillion. That is the GDP, not the budget. మేబీ ఒక 1000 ఏళ్ళకి అవుతుందేమో అప్పుడు. యా మనం ఉంటాం కదా. ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్ ఎడిటోరియల్స్. బట్ నేను చూసి ఈ రోజు ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్ ఏంటంటే, ఈసారి సెన్సెస్ డిజిటల్ సెన్సెస్ లాంచ్ చేస్తున్నారు. దేర్ ఆస్కింగ్ ద కెనడా అండ్ ఆల్సో మెక్సికో, విచ్ ఆర్ ద నైబరింగ్ కంట్రీస్, రైట్? ఇప్పుడు ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇండియా గోల్డెన్ డోమ్ చేసింది అనుకోండి, పాకిస్తాన్ అడిగితే అది లాజికల్ గా ఉంటుంది. అంటే అట్లీస్ట్ జోగ్రఫీ, వాట్ ఆర్ ద రిలేషన్స్ వీ హావ్ అడగము, బట్ అడిగితే ఇట్ విల్ బి లాజికల్. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మన ఇందాక IRNSS అని ఇండియా హ్యాస్ ఇట్స్ ఓన్ రీజనల్ నావిగేషన్ సిస్టమ్. సో ఇట్ కవర్స్ ద పాకిస్తాన్, నేపాల్, శ్రీలంక, బంగ్లాదేశ్ ఆల్సో, భూటాన్ కూడా, మాల్దీవ్స్ కూడా. సో బికాస్ దే ఆర్ ద నైబర్స్. సో నేను ఒక క్వశ్చన్ అడుగుతాను, మీకు పాలిటీ అయిపోయిందా? విజన్ స్ట్రెంట్. సో రైట్ టు ఓట్ అనేది కాన్స్టిట్యూషనల్ రైటా, ఫండమెంటల్ రైటా? వై ఇట్స్ నాట్ అ ఫండమెంటల్ రైట్? ఫండమెంటల్ రైట్ లేదు కాబట్టి ఫండమెంటల్ రైట్ కాదు. సో దట్ ఈస్ ద ఫస్ట్, బికాస్ వై ఐ ఆస్క్డ్ దట్ క్వశ్చన్ వాస్ Bihar lo very soon, in Bihar the elections are going to happen, state elections. Adi kaadu madam, that is not, state elections are going to happen. A state elections appudu ee election commission em chesindante, they want to implement this special intensive revision of the electoral rolls. Electoral rolls means they are telling to, we will revise the voting list. So the opposition parties are telling that, so ippudu election commission is in the control of the center. So if the center is doing something, election commission is doing something, means it thinks that it will do something in the favor of center. So that opposition parties are rejecting that and they went to the Supreme Court. So here the question comes whether the right to vote is a fundamental right or the constitutional right. Constitutional right ante, can it be removed from the constitution? Right. Right to vote is the
కానీ కాన్స్టిట్యూషనల్ రైట్స్ కూడా దానికి తొలగించాలంటే మనకు మెజారిటీస్ చాలా ఉండాలి. మెజారిటీ ఉండాలంటే డెఫినెట్ గా ఎమ్మెల్యేస్ ఎంపీస్ వల్లే జరుగుతుంది. సో వాళ్ళ ఎలక్షన్స్ గెలవాలంటే ఖచ్చితంగా ఓటర్స్ ఉండాలి. కాబట్టి ఎప్పుడు రైట్ టు ఓట్ ని తీసేయడానికి ఉండదు.
Right to vote, but it is a constant. Okay, the spirit is okay. You are telling based on the spirit. This is what will happen. This is the nature of the democracy. Exactly. That is the word I am waiting. So this is the thing which protects even the right to vote is a constitutional right. Constitutional rights can be amended. But the basic structure doctrine which protects the basic structure of the India, which is the elections, democratic process. This is all involved in the basic structure doctrine. Which case? Keshavananda Bharati case. So prelims లో ఇలాంటివే వస్తాయి. Is right to vote, constitutional right, fundamental right. These kind of dilemmas they will create. So you should be very clear. So when it came? 1976 or 1? 6. Huh? 17.3 na? Sure? ఒకసారి చూడండి. 1970, the early 1970 అని గుర్తుంది. 1973 or 3 అనుకుంటా. 3. 1973. Because of the Keshavananda Bharat. Ma?
1972
Yeah, that is sure. ఎందుకంటే 71 లో what is the important thing happened is only one thing. 1971 లో జరిగిన only one major incident was India Bangladesh war. అదే India Pakistan war. ఆ తర్వాత ఇంకేం జరగలేదు. 1973 లో it started to emerge. 1975 లో ఏమొచ్చింది? మీకు పోస్ట్ ఇండిపెండెన్స్ అవ్వలేదు కదా, వస్తుంది. 1975 లో ఏమొచ్చింది? ఎమర్జెన్సీ. ద ఇండియా ఫస్ట్ ఫేస్డ్ ఇట్స్ ఎమర్జెన్సీ, నేషనల్ ఎమర్జెన్సీ. ఇందిరా గాంధీ, ఎస్. The Indira Gandhi imposed the emergency on India. That is the first time India got its blow on its democratic process. As a result, ఎవరు దానికి అగైనెస్ట్ గా ప్రొటెస్ట్ చేశారు? The Janata government, JP Narayan, Jayaprakash Narayan. So that is one thing. And this is again the important news. Isari, the census will be in a digital mode. Digital census is going to happen. So what is the thing if you have a census in the digital mode? Transparency ఎక్కువ ఉంటుంది అంటారా? Transparency, accountability. అంటే చాలా పెద్ద పెద్ద పదాలు వాడుతున్నారు కదా. Do you know the meaning? Accountability అంటే ఏంటి? Transparency అంటే ఏంటి? Transparency. Accountability అంటే ఇప్పుడు you are accountable to your parents. They have paid the fee and they sent you here to study. So you are accountable to them. And ఇంకేం ఉంటుంది? Yeah, the process will be faster. Yeah, exactly. Cost effective. Yeah, faster process include the time. ఇంకేముంటాయి?
Less work for government.
Yeah, that is also very good point. So bureaucratic hours can be saved. So bureaucratic hours can be saved. So ఇంకేం ఉండొచ్చు? Faster process, data collection. ఇంకా? Yeah, definitely we'll go next to the. చెప్పండి. So yeah, that is the one thing. ఎందుకు అంటారా? Caste. So initial last census lo they also calculated the SCs, ST, BCs. ఎందుకు చేశారు? రిజర్వేషన్ ఇంకా పాలసీ మేకింగ్. The same reasons. Inclusive growth. The reasons are the same. Yeah, that's what they are doing, because one thing, the political angle is definitely there. Because Congress, it started its వాళ్ళ governments లో they started. For example, Telangana, they did the caste census చేశారు కదా ఇక్కడ చేశారు. The caste census has happened in the Telangana. What the reasons they have did, and everyone wants, especially in the South India, so everyone, even in the North India also. So they want to their caste to be calculated. Especially some caste, some dominant caste వాళ్ళు ఉంటారు కదా అంటే in the demographics, higher number. So they want to know that exactly what is their number, so that they can demand some political power. They want to crave that pie of the cake in the SC stratification. ST stratification. Recently SC stratification చేశారు. ఎందుకు చేశారు? It's not like that. ఇప్పుడు SCs లో like there is in the umbrella, if you think, you are bringing everyone into one single umbrella in the name of one caste. Okay, SC ano, ST ano, you are bringing all the people into one umbrella. But I mean, sir, don't take it as a negative. He's throwing other people out of that umbrella and he is taking that umbrella. మీకు అర్థమైందా? అంటే కొన్ని డామినెంట్, ఇప్పుడు దాంట్లో కొన్ని డామినెంట్ పీపుల్ ఉంటారు ఎస్సీస్ లో, ఎస్టీస్ లో కొన్ని డామినెంట్ కాస్ట్ ఉంటాయి. సో వాళ్ళు ఏం చేస్తారు, దే విల్ టేక్ వాళ్ళకి ఎంపవర్మెంట్ చాలా ఎక్కువ ఉంటుంది. సో ఇప్పుడు సో ద ఎగ్జామ్ ఈస్ బిట్వీన్, ఇక్కడ ఎగ్జామ్ వాట్ ఈస్ ద నేచర్ ఆఫ్ ద ఎగ్జామ్? సో ఎగ్జామ్స్ మీకు ఎందుకు కండక్ట్ చేస్తున్నారు? ఇప్పుడు యూపీఎస్సీ ఎగ్జామ్ అయినా, మీరు కాలేజెస్ లో ఎగ్జామ్ అయినా, ద ఫండమెంటల్ నేచర్ ఆఫ్ ద ఎగ్జామ్ ఇస్ టు fairness. So to promote the fairness in selecting you, anta mandilo in 10-15 lakhs, why they have to select only you as an IAS officer? Capabilities you have to prove through in the exam, and that exam should be equal for everyone. So that exam should promote the fairness. So చాలా మంది అంటారు అంటే ఇట్స్ ఆల్సో డిపెండ్స్ ఆన్ ద రిజర్వేషన్ ఆల్సో, బట్ జస్ట్ కన్ఫైన్ టు దట్ రిజర్వేషన్. ఇప్పుడు ఒక ఎస్సీ రిజర్వేషన్ అను, సో కన్ఫైన్ దీస్ పీపుల్ and whoever are there in this umbrella, different classes, ఎవరైనా కావచ్చు. సో when they write the exam, and ఇప్పుడు ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఎస్సీస్ కి కొన్ని సీట్స్ ఉన్నాయి అనుకుందాం, ఒక 100 ఉన్నాయి అనుకుందాం. సో దే డోంట్ క్యాలిక్యులేట్ దేర్, ఎస్సీస్ లో దే డోంట్ క్యాలిక్యులేట్ కదా. ఎస్సీస్ లో మీన్స్ వాట్ ఎవర్ దేర్ కేటగిరీ వాజ్ నాట్ క్యాలిక్యులేటెడ్. ఓన్లీ వన్ సింగిల్ కేటగిరీ is SC, being from one, for example there in SC we have A, B, C and D. There are multiple categories, so they don't see who is taking. So only one category may be the dominant category in that class. So if they are taking all these 100 jobs, so who are losing? ఈ 100 జాబులు మొత్తం ఆ ఏ కేటగిరీ వాళ్ళే తీసేసుకుంటారు అనుకోండి, BCD వాళ్ళకి అన్యాయం జరుగుతున్నట్టే కదా. సో దట్స్ వై దే ఆర్ డూయింగ్ ద స్ట్రాటిఫికేషన్. ఆ ఎస్సీలో కూడా ఎస్సీ వర్గీకరణ అందుకే చేస్తున్నారు అది. అండ్ ఆల్సో ఇన్ బీసీ వర్గీకరణ, ఎస్టీ వర్గీకరణ టు అంటే ఇంక్లూజివ్ గ్రోత్ ఇంప్రూవ్ చేయడానికి. అది దట్ ఈస్ ద థింగ్. నెగటివ్స్. సో వాట్ కెన్ బి ద నెగటివ్స్ ఫర్ ద డిజిటల్ కాస్ట్ సెన్సస్, సారీ డిజిటల్ సెన్సస్? Data privacy, that is the basic thing, right? When the digital things, ma'am, ఏమైంది? Data privacy was the problem of the data privacy. Whenever the digital things are involved, ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఆధార్ కార్డ్స్, everyone you registered your ఆధార్ కార్డ్స్ or some place or some other place, just don't think big things, పెద్ద పెద్ద ఆలోచించొద్దు. మీరు ఎక్కడో ఒక చోట మీ నెంబర్, ఫోన్ నెంబర్ ఏదో ఇచ్చి ఉంటారు. సో కంటిన్యూస్ గా మల్టిపుల్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ నుంచి మా దాంట్లో జాయిన్ అవ్వండి, మా దాంట్లో జాయిన్ అవ్వండి. సో కంటిన్యూస్ గా ఈ మెసేజెస్ అన్ని కంటిన్యూ వస్తాయి. ఇట్ ఈస్ ఎ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ ఎ డేటా బ్రీచ్. డేటా ప్రైవసీ, మీ డేటా ప్రైవసీని ఇట్ ఈస్ ఎఫెక్టింగ్ యువర్ డేటా ప్రైవసీ. మేబీ ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్ ఎఫెక్టింగ్ ఇన్ ద లార్జర్ స్కేల్, బట్ స్టిల్ ఒక సెకండ్ అయినా ఇట్ ఈస్ కాజింగ్ యూ ద డిస్టర్బెన్స్ కదా. So that's it's an example of data privacy only. Inka, what are the negative other things?
Lack of
Communication.
Digital divide.
digital infrastructure and technology.
Yeah. So digital divide includes many things, even the digital literacy also. So hacking adanతా కూడా data privacy కిందే వస్తాయి. And also digital divide. Rural countries లో, rural places లో, so they are not happy to use the smartphones. ఇప్పుడు for example మన grandmothers వాళ్ళకి స్మార్ట్ ఫోన్ ఇస్తే ఎలా వాడాలో కూడా తెలియదు. Even our fathers also, sometimes they don't like to use they were very comfortable with the keypad phones. అంత యూజ్ ఏమి ఉండదు కదా మనకంటే స్నాప్చాట్లు, ఇన్స్టాగ్రామ్లు, ఫేస్బుక్స్ అవన్నీ ఉంటాయి. అందరు యూట్యూబ్ చూస్తున్నారా? సో ఇంకేముంటాయి? డేటా ప్రైవసీ ఇస్ ఎ బిగ్ థింగ్ యాక్చువల్లీ. అండ్ డిజిటల్ డివైడ్. డెఫినెట్లీ క్యాస్ట్ సెన్సిటివ్నెస్ ఉంటుంది కదా. సో అంటే అందరూ చెప్పలేం కదా. వాట్ ఎవర్ ద క్యాస్ట్ వీ బిలాంగ్స్ టు, ఇఫ్ సమ్మన్ కమ్ అండ్ ఆస్క్ వాట్ ఈస్ యువర్ క్యాస్ట్, అంటే మనకు అంత కంఫర్టబుల్ అనిపించదు. యా. సో ఫ్రీ స్పీచ్ ఆఫ్ ఎక్స్ప్రెషన్ ఆల్సో ఇట్ కెన్ రిలేట్ టు ద రైట్ టు ఓట్. Article 19. You can connect that one with the right to vote also. Right to free speech and expression. So ఇంకేమైనా నెగిటివ్స్ ఉంటాయా? డేటా ప్రైవసీ, డిజిటల్ డివైడ్ అండ్ ద క్యాస్ట్ సెన్సిటివ్నెస్. Because this time the caste is also adding in the census. So you have to say your caste also in the recent census. Huh? Portal glitch.
Like government service glitch.
Mm-hmm. So we can digital disturbances. What will cause? It will cause the delay in progress. Digital disturbances. Madam? వినపడట్లేదు మేడం. కొంచెం గట్టిగా అంటే ల్యాక్ ఆఫ్ పర్వాలేదు, ట్రై చేయండి, ఇట్స్ ఓకే. కరెక్ట్ అయితే లైక్ విల్ యూజ్, అదర్వైజ్ విల్ లీవ్. Lack of trust. Adi manaki, even if they do in the written also, that factor will be there, right? But here also we can use lack of trust. So that's why the caste sensitiveness. Anta tondaraga cheppalem kada. Oppositions start chesnayi kada. This caste census was started usually by the Congress. So now BJP want to implement throughout the India. So that is the answer for opposition, adding the caste census into that. ఇంకేముంది? Trump issues threat of Registrar General of India, and he is the one who controls this census calculation. Registrar General of India. He will maintain all these records. Statute. Registrar General of India. So this is very important. Trump was going mad. Yeah. Whoever opposing him, so he is simply telling, okay, tax 10%, 20%. Even recently he gave the tax for Japan and Korea. 25% tax he want to levy on Japan and Korea. So they are their strategic partners, major non-NATO allies, Korea and Japan. And US has the multiple bases in the South Korea and Japan. But still he want to impose the tax. So how many countries there are in the BRICS? 5. 10 countries are there. What are the 10 countries? Brazil, రాద్దాం. ఖచ్చితంగా గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాలి. బికాస్ టు రీడ్ ద ఇంటర్నేషనల్ రిలేషన్స్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు సీ ఇన్ ద మల్టిపుల్ లెన్సెస్. వాళ్ళు బ్రిక్స్ లో ఉన్నారా లేదా, లేకపోతే నామ్ లో ఉన్నారా లేదా, లైక్ యా వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. దోస్ ఆర్ వెరీ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ బికాస్ దీస్ ఆర్ ఆల్ లైక్ ఎ డాట్స్. These are all like the Quad, NATO, ఇవన్నీ కూడా dots. You can only connect when you know the information perfectly. So now it is usually calling the BRICS Plus. Yeah. Russia, India, China, South Africa, Indonesia, Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, UAE. So these are the important countries present right now in the BRICS. So BRICS has one what we can say similar kind of a clone of IMF. What is it? Clone of IMF. What IMF will do? Yeah, monetary fund for the countries which are in a very bad state. So BRICS also developed one bank called NDB. Yeah. So the NDB or the New Development Bank was started by the BRICS. Yeah. So they started, and where is its headquarters? China. So Iran, even Pakistan badly want to come into BRICS, but India is stopping it. So it won't allow Pakistan easily into BRICS. Yeah, definitely. Whatever the major, all the global forums, these anti-terror things are included.
So main objective of BRICS is giving funds.
Yeah. So, so why the point is why Trump is against the BRICS?
China, Russia.
మ్యామ్ చెప్పండి ఏం మెన్షన్ చేయలేదు, ఏదో మెన్షన్ చేయలేదు అన్నారు, చెప్పండి పర్వాలేదు. అది SCO. Shanghai Cooperation Organization. It's not a climate change. It's also like a kind of a group in the Asia.
Protecting biodiversity.
No. It's a political group. It's kind of a political group, means political coalition by the certain countries in the Asia mostly. Central Asian countries, Russia, China, also India and Pakistan also there. That is the only one of the important global arena where the Pakistan and India sit side by side. Previously it was SARC. Now the SARC slowly India is giving it its natural death. South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. So now India is leaving it to its natural death. Why? One of the reason was Pakistan is the member of that SARC. Initial people and the initial leaders. So now the leaders of India, they think that leaders, Vajpayee and that time, they did some mistake by accepting the Pakistan into SARC. Regional cooperation. No. That is different. Now that's why they decrease the importance for SARC and they are giving the importance for the BIMSTEC. Bay of Bengal Initiative for So Bay of Bengal Initiative for Maritime Strategic, even I, naaku gurturala suddenly. Yeah. But they are giving importance for the BIMSTEC. సో ఈ బే ఆఫ్ బెంగాల్ ఇనిషియేటివ్ లో ఎక్సెప్ట్ పాకిస్తాన్ ఆల్ ద రీజనల్ కంట్రీస్ ఆర్ దేర్. భూటాన్, శ్రీలంక, మియన్మార్, థాయిలాండ్ కూడా దే ఆర్ యాడింగ్. సో దేర్ ఆర్ మల్టిపుల్ కంట్రీస్ దే ఆర్ గివింగ్ ద ఇంపార్టెన్స్ ఫర్ దిస్. నేపాల్, యా, ఇదివరకు దాంట్లో లైక్ దే పాకిస్తాన్ ఈస్ దేర్. నౌ దే విల్ఫుల్లీ వాంట్ టు give the natural death to the SARC. Now India don't want to promote the SARC anymore.
Initiative for multi-sectoral, technical and
Economic cooperation, multi-sectoral and technical and economic cooperation. So that is BIMSTEC. Regional groupings లో దీనికి ఇప్పుడు ఎక్కువ ఇంపార్టెన్స్ ఉంది BIMSTEC కి. ఎందుక? Because it is the congregation which is developed by India, which India is a central role, and to connect the neighbors. India has one policy, neighbor first policy. Neighbor, Pakistan kuda mana neighbor, but it is not acting as a good neighbor. Miku, ante, what is your optional? What is your optional? Anthropology. సో పిఎస్ఆర్ అయితే పొలిటికల్ సైన్స్ లో కౌటిల్య థియరీ ఒకటి ఉంటుంది, మండలా థియరీ అని. మండలా థియరీ, ఆ మండలా థియరీలో if it is you, your neighbor will definitely be an enemy of you, and the neighbor of your enemy is your friend, and your neighbor's enemy is friend of your enemy. So ala untundi, that is a mandala theory of Kautilya. So with that vision you have to see the Pakistan will never accept the India's hegemony, never. It is all these problems now, especially in the South Asia, is because of the Pakistan and India. 10% tax because BRICS, the main motto of the BRICS, it want the BRICS, the agenda of the BRICS was to collaborate on the South-South cooperation. Global South, Global North అని విన్నారా మీరు? What is the ఇది ఖచ్చితంగా మీరు తెలియాల్సిన టర్మినాలజీ. గ్లోబల్ సౌత్ అంటే ఏంటి, గ్లోబల్ నార్త్ అంటే ఏంటి? Global North is mostly consist of the developed countries, especially the European and America. No, all the Scandinavians, Baltic, everything. These all countries will come under the Global North. Global South ante enti ante just like the northern hemisphere, southern hemisphere, similar ante exact ga adani kaadu gaani. So they got this ideology from like that. South lo usually the countries are in the very underdeveloped stage, especially the African countries, Asian countries. These are all the things. So ee global South cooperation kosam, so they are using the BRICS, and they don't want to do the main thing. The main thing was they don't want to do the trade in US dollars. De-dollarization. That is one of the important thing why the Trump and the America was angry.
BRICS members are planning for de-dollarization.
BRICS members are planning for the de-dollarization. It's a Russian initiative, but now BRICS are actively taking, right? If now, ma'am? They want to start the NDB. They want to start with a new currency in the replacement of NDB, New Development Bank. So they want to bring some new currency which replaces the US dollar. No, they will make one new currency. ఇప్పుడు SDRs అంటారు, drawing rights, self drawing rights. So it is why the IMF will give loans and money in the SDRs. Not direct money they will give. SDRs ఉంటాయి. ఇట్స్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ దానికి ఒక వాల్యూ ఉంటుంది. ఇప్పుడు ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ IMF లో అయిపోయిందా, బాండ్ వాల్యూ అని కాదు, దానికి సెల్ఫ్ డ్రాయింగ్ రైట్స్ కి ఒక వాల్యూ ఉంటుంది. లైక్ ఇన్ ద జపనీస్ కరెన్సీ ఆర్ ఇన్ ద వాట్ ఆర్ ద మెంబర్స్ టాప్ డ్రాయింగ్ రైట్స్, US, ఫ్రెంచ్, వీళ్ళకి ఆ కరెన్సీలో కొంత వాల్యూ ఉంటుంది. సో బేస్డ్ ఆన్ దట్ దే విల్ డూ. సో అలాగే న్యూ డెవలప్మెంట్ బ్యాంక్ కూడా దే విల్ స్టార్ట్ వన్ న్యూ కరెన్సీ అండ్ దే విల్ మేక్ ద వాల్యూ లైక్ $100 ఈక్వల్ టు 1 న్యూ డెవలప్మెంట్ బ్యాంక్ డాలర్ అన్నారు అనుకోండి, సరిపో. ఇప్పుడు ఈవెన్ ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ టు క్రాస్ ద ఇండియన్ రూపీ, over the dollar. It's not that difficult. India tomorrow can bring one currency note and tell that it is $100 value. That is as simple as that. But whole issue will be there that how many people are using that. ఎంత ఎక్కువ మంది వాడితే the demand of that currency will be high. That's why US has the high demand in the world currency. If people stop using that US dollar, what will happen? It will definitely affect the US economy and its exports. Everything it will affect. So these things, if South started to disregard the US dollar, definitely it is going to affect the US. So that's why the Trump is angry. And there are multiple reasons. So they want to surpass the US. Inka? Okay.